Hello and welcome to my Siege of Orgrimmar raid guide. My name is Aliena, and in this video I'll show you all you need to know about Norushen and the Amalgam of Corruption, the third boss in this new raid instance. We defeated this fight with 2 tanks, 6 healers and 17 DPS, but similar raid configurations may work just as well. The Amalgam can be tanked where it spawns and it requires no special positioning. Tank swaps must occur due to a mechanic called Self-Doubt. This is a debuff used on the current tank that will increase damage done by Unleashed Anger, a physical damage ability that happens every 10 seconds. Tanks should switch about once per minute, or when damage becomes overwhelming for the healers. There's raid-wide AoE damage present throughout the entire encounter that needs to be healed through. This increases in intensity as the Amalgam loses health. Secondly, you'll have to deal with an ability called Blind Hatred. This is a beam of death. It even has a skull to drive the point home. Not unlike Jaruba's laser beam, and it will slowly move around the arena in a random direction. Standing in this is a bad idea and should probably be avoided. However, the most important parts of this fight are ad management and successful handling of the resource called Corruption that will be shown in a special action bar as soon as you engage the Amalgam. Every player in the raid starts with 75 Corruption. Corruption decreases the damage your DPS do to the Amalgam and must be cleansed throughout the course of the fight. While there's no negative effects for tanks or healers that have Corruption, they do gain very helpful buffs when they are purified, as in when they reach 0 Corruption. Tanks will take less damage when purified and healers will heal for more. To cleanse the Corruption, players can click on yellow globes called Purifying Light. The globes spawn periodically around the outer edge of the circle on the ground and will disappear once someone uses it. Once clicked, the player is transported into a phased room where they face a challenge based on their role. Healers have to defeat a Shah spawn and keep their NPC's allies alive. Tanks must survive for a minute, and DPS must defeat all ads present and pick up the orbs after they die. Whenever a DPS defeats an ad, it regains all health and is transported to the actual raid where it must once again be defeated. You want to avoid having too many DPS use an orb at the same time so as to not get overrun by ads. 1 healer should go down per round of globes to alleviate this. Tanks should only go down right after a tank switch, since they'll be caught up for a whole minute. There are 2 types of ads that you have to deal with up top: Essences of Corruption and Manifestations of Corruption. Essences will use Expel Corruption, which travels in a straight line from the essence to the Amalgam and hits the first person in its way with 100k damage. If it doesn't hit anyone, it'll increase the Amalgam's damage temporarily. This effect stacks, so you want to make sure no Expel Corruptions reach the Amalgam. Essences can be stunned, silenced and interrupted to avoid Expel Corruption altogether. They do not move and they do not need to be tanked. Manifestations will AoE the raid while they are alive, but more importantly leave behind a residual Corruption globe when they die. This globe will periodically deal 90k AoE damage to the entire raid until it's picked up by a player. Picking it up will give the player 25 Corruption, so it might be worth to assign a single person, such as a lower DPS, to pick up 3 globes in a row, then go purify themselves. Manifestations should be picked up by a tank. We mostly had ranged DPS take out the ads, though melee would help out if we had a lot up at the same time. Once more and more of your DPS have their Corruption at 0, you will see less and less ads and will be able to concentrate more on the Amalgam. When the Amalgam hits 50% health, and every 10% after that, it'll spawn a manifestation on its own that needs to be killed, and of course the residual Corruption orbs must be picked up. Once you get the Amalgam to about 40% health, almost everyone in your raid should have 0 Corruption and no one should attempt to cleanse theirs anymore. From here on, it's a burn phase and you want to kill the boss as fast as possible before the increasing raid damage overwhelms you. That is about all you need to know for normal mode Norushen. Thank you for watching this guide, I hope it was helpful. I stream most of our raids and other gaming content over at Twitch. I'll put the URL in the description box, so come stop by sometime.